Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food.
Dusty Vision TV, thanks for joining the program. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, I welcome you. The title of today's episode is If It Came Out of Compton, It Came Through Me. Most people say that if it wasn't for him, there would be no Eazy-E. Most people say if it wasn't for him, there would be no Dr. Dre. And the list goes on and on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, on the line, my friend, the godfather of West Coast hip hop, Lonzo Williams. What up, man?
What's up with you, Doc? How you feeling today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for joining the program, man. And it's a trip because I just got an alert on my phone that we posted the first episode of Not Without Alonzo 2 years ago today.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Been that long?
Isn't that a trip, dude?
You said 2 years ago?
2 years ago, yeah. Just popped up on my Facebook memories, man.
Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of Not Without Alonzo, tell everybody before we get started where they can find you on YouTube.
Find me on YouTube at Not Without Alonzo. N.W.A. Stories with Alonzo on YouTube, Instagram, hashtag Real Alonzo N.W.A. Same thing for Facebook and Twitter.
There it is, my man. There it is. Well, let's jump right into it, man. I want to kind of you said something to me offline. You said an interesting phrase, and I want to run with that tonight. But the phrase was, if it came out of Compton, it came through me. I'm always, I listen to podcasts religiously, hip hop specifically related, and I'm a big fan of West Coast hip hop. And growing up, all of the people I hear do podcasts now and do interviews, your name always comes up. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know the name Lonzo Williams, you definitely know the work that he's done behind the scenes, and you know who he's responsible for, pretty much bringing into the game. And if you saw Straight Outta Compton, he was, I guess, he was the club promoter, the hype club promoter who didn't want Dre playing all that bullshit hip hop in his club with the Jerry Curl, right?
That's me.
Let me ask you, how did you feel, or how did he hit Alonzo Williams right the nail on the head with the whole how you were back then?
He played me great. It just the part they gave him to play was not me at all. I mean, I'm the first person to bring Run DMC to L.A., first person to bring Curtis Blow to L.A., Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I mean, I was doing a lot of stuff with hip hop before anybody else was, so I had a major love for hip hop overall. And shortly after that, I formed my group, World Class Wrecking Crew.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What they said I did in Straight Outta Compton never happened in real life. Okay, it never happened. I never hated on gangster rap, because by the time gangster rap was up and running, I was already out of the club business. I was doing something else. I mean, I was out of the doodles. I put it that way. I was doing something else. So, I mean, they put it together. I mean, it called it a creative license, where they can, come in and take a story and patch it together to make it more interesting. I ain't mad at them. I'm glad to be a part of a docu series, but
one of those damn things.
Yeah, something like that. A biopic.
There you go.
A biopic that it has as much success as it has. So I'm ingrained in hip hop history forever. Maybe the wrong story, but I'll take that. I'll make it work.
Yeah. Now, aside from your part being a little off, how accurate was the movie Straight Outta Compton?
The movie wasn't bad, man. It wasn't bad at all. I mean, it was very cool. Again, like I said, they call it creative license. They used it to the maximum. Stressed out and stuff. Had folks being heroes. I mean, if Dre had a cape, he could have flew shit. But he didn't. He talking shit to the police and fighting folks and jumping on bloods and hey man, sometimes people do shit in their mind they probably wouldn't do in real life. But I ain't gonna go there.
And it's kind of funny how I think it was the final product was if him and Ice Cube didn't approve of it, then it wasn't happening, right? Okay. All right.
It was it was a project, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was just in the car. That's all.
Yeah, it is a trip though. For anyone who doesn't know, I mean, the fact that he had maybe 2 minutes tops in this movie doesn't even accurately portray what this dude did for West Coast hip hop. I mean, you were chopping through the weeds trying to figure stuff out. Take yourself back, guys, to 1980, 81, 82. You know, before hip hop was a big deal. I mean, this guy was discovering new things. I mean, pioneering new shit. How hard was it to even get a record out?
Man, nobody paid us no attention. Nobody paid hip hop no attention. You got to understand. When I first wanted to get into the music business about 80, 81, disco had just died. Disco was on life support. Okay, it had died, but you still had a few folks that was trying to, breathe life into it, and they figured hip hop was gonna be like disco. It was gonna die a quick death, and don't even worry about it. Funk is here to stay, R&B is here to stay, blues is here to stay, disco. I mean, hip hop is just something passed through. Thank you, Doc. And they didn't, nobody took it serious. And they're not singing; they just spitting hollering to the microphone. Nobody thought it was going to work. So nobody paid no attention until all of a sudden we started making money. Then everybody wanted to be, oh yeah, I knew it was going to be great. I figured it was going to be same old bullshit.
That is
so
bullshit.
It was just really interesting, man. I mean, and I went through it first. I mean, I knocked on every door in Hollywood, Motown, CBS, Sony. After we did our own album, then they gave us a record deal. But nobody was checking for us in the beginning. Everybody was independent. And it worked out great for LA rappers because we all were businessmen. Most of us were businessmen in the beginning. Mm-hmm. Either we worked in management at a job or we owned other smaller businesses. And it allowed us to, just expand our wings and do something different, which was make records. Mm-hmm. Whereas New York cats, they all got signed to record deals out the gate. Most of them cats don't own their masters like we do. A lot of those guys got taken advantage of in the early days. They made more money than we did, but we have more control. Mm-hmm. And sometimes control can actually be a better thing.
Oh yeah. I know you're. I always hope that when I turn on the TV and a commercial comes on, I hear one of your songs in the background. And
I'm so waiting for that, dude. I'm so waiting for that. I mean, one of my partners is Adrian Gregory. He manages Digital Underground. Every time I hear Humpty Hump or one of them commercials for that the phone company, I'm like, oh man, or Humpty Hump. I'm oh my God. I'm hearing JJ Fad just did the Hedgehog. Was it Hedgehog Sonic? They was in that movie. So at some point in time, somebody got to give me some love. I was hoping that I went viral on the fly with Mike Pence a couple of weeks ago.
How? Oh, with the fly.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
But that.
Yeah, but Facebook started tripping on music real hard. So when nobody even we couldn't even do a meme to make it work. If we did the meme, they wouldn't play the music. Yeah. So it just took the whole fun out of it.
Yeah. That would have been it right there, my man. But yeah, listen to what this dude is saying, man. The ownership part, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be so quick to sell yourself. Don't be so quick to sell your art. The record label can't do shit without your voice. So don't ever give them 100% of anything. I mean, at the end of the day, Lonzo owns his music, and 25, 30, 35 years later, if a movie wants to play 30 seconds of it, guess who they're going to pay? They're going to pay Alonzo.
Explain the job of an executive producer. That's kind of led into my next question, because you've always been in control, and it seems like that title suits you well.
Well, executive producer, man, on a project, it's usually the person that gets the money from the record company. He has a production company, and sometimes, depending on who it is, they all have different jobs. But usually, the production company will bring in he'll work with the artists. He'll bring in the songwriters. He'll bring in the producers, the musicians, and he'll make sure everybody coordinates and everything is working together. That was kind of my function at that back in the day. That's my claim to fame. Okay, that's what I do best. I don't really program drums, but I know just like other day, one of my guys from one of my companies I'm working with, they're thinking about doing a song about their product. So I called up one of my boys in Vegas, who I know was a good, fast writer, and this producer said, "Man, I need a song about this right here." 2 days later, I got a song. Okay, and I gave him all the particulars. I gave him all the various points we want to hit, and that's how I played it to them on Friday. They was in love with me. They, oh man, Lonzo, that's great. Blah blah. They don't know the artist. They know me. Okay, but I go to. Okay, if they said, "Hey man, I need a slow song or cha cha," I won't go to that guy. I go to somebody else. I go to my boy Willie. I go to Willie Z. Willie Z plays saxophone. He plays keyboards. He's an R&B guy. So depending on what I need as an executive for a project, I'll go as an executive producer and bring those people in to make that project happen. It's like an architect. You know, some people do colonial stuff real well. Some people do modern stuff real well. And so as an architect, you have to know what vendors to bring to the project to make it the best project possible. Make it the best project possible.
And you have to get gangster sometime. But I promoted myself not to nowhere near the level that you did, but there were times where it's 1 a.m. You have to negotiate with this rapper, and you have to quote unquote get gangster, right?
Well, you know what? I learned a long time ago. You try not to get gangster, but sometimes you get a fool.
That's the thing. Yeah, you try everything not to get that. You know what I'm saying? 8, 9 different ways, but it just goes right back to that.
They don't speak business. They don't speak logic. All they speak is street. Okay. And now I tried the business my business language. You're not getting them here as where's 4 hours, blah blah blah. I've tried to negotiate. I tried to be diplomatic. You don't understand compromise. All you understand is me cuss until you get the fuck out of my face and leave me the fuck alone for this shit get real ugly. Oh, okay, I got you. Which is the damnest shit in the world. Okay.
Yeah.
But you have to. But a real player has to have them levels to minimize your bullshit. Because sometimes you can get a person on the business level, or you can get them on the diplomatic level. You ain't got to go gangster. Nowadays, everybody want to go gangster. As soon as there's a problem, he want to go gangster. That's why you got some bullshit. They don't have the business savvy or the diplomacy. They go straight to gangster. So and when you go to gangster, usually fisticuffs or goddamn guns come out and somebody going to jail. See, I've owned a house since I was 20 years old. So when you own shit, you got shit to do. House notes to pay, car notes to pay. You ain't got time to slip in county.
Yeah.
You ain't got time to go slip in county for 3-4 weeks waiting on the judge. So
got to get to work, dog. That's 4 weeks out of work.
Right. Not saying you're a punk by no means. You got to think past the bullshit. Why are you willing to lose everything you got for somebody who has nothing? Why are you playing dice with a guy who has no money? If you're in a dice game, you the only one got some money. You're the only one gonna lose. And a lot of cats miss. He respect, but both of y'all niggas is in jail. Got this respect, but both of y'all in the same goddamn cell. Okay, so that's what happens when you get a sense of responsibility.
Yeah,
you realize that there's a lot more to it than impressing your homies. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was always older than most of the guys around here. I was able to show them things that they couldn't. They probably not of them had never seen before. Hey man, it ain't worth all that hassle, dude. And first of all, if it's gonna be like that, y'all can take that bullshit someplace else. Now I got to be the gangster. Okay. First and foremost, this is my house. I don't mind y'all drinking. I don't mind, but y'all ain't gonna be fighting acting a goddamn fool around here. I'm not gonna have it. All right, Lonzo. And I let it go. I don't harp on it. I still show love on both sides because these are young cats with testosterone. Testosterone is flying everywhere, man. You mix testosterone with beer, but you lucky you shit. That's a recipe for disaster.
You this is how I see you, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're someone who's given way more to hip hop than you've gotten back.
Yeah, I can say that.
Yeah. your roots go deep, dog. Like every other week, you're dropping something on me that I've never heard. And we've been doing this for 2-3 years now.
Yeah. I figure out where my screen went, but yeah, Doc, you're right. I got a couple of people that's talking to me about another documentary, and I'm also doing another behind the scenes, filling the gaps type documentary. I'm talking to my one of my videographers about yesterday, and I explained to him most people don't know the questions to ask me. Okay, and he said, "Man, how come Cube and Dre don't give you the respect that you deserve?" I say, when I was doing my thing, they was in kindergarten, they was in elementary school, man.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, again, you got to do the numbers. Do the numbers. If I'm 19, I'm 12 years older than Cube, right? So if I'm 19, that makes Cube what, 7?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's a huge difference.
If I'm 19, if I'm 21, if I'm 20, and I'm doing my thing, if I'm at Eve After Dark at 22, and I'm 12 years older than he is,
he's in elementary basically, or just entering. Yeah,
he's in the 5th grade.
Yep.
He's in the 5th grade. All right. Dre is 8 years younger than me. So if I'm doing my shit I'm 22, I'm 8 years older than he is. That means he's 13. So when I'm out in the streets doing mobiles, rocking the Cream Mary, Alpine Village, they in high school or junior high school, man. They
junior high.
They're junior high school. Cuban elementary. They don't know what I done. They, and I was telling something else. He actually, I know this guy, I know that guy. I've been DJing probably longer than most of the DJs that cats know, but here's the difference. I was the first one to have his own residency in his own club. Think about that. At 22 years old, I owned the Eve After Dark. I was already a pretty popular mobile DJ. At 22, I opened the Eve After Dark. I got the Eve After Dark rocking. I was the main jock. Nobody else knew nobody else at Eve After Dark. I brought other cats in to give myself a break because I knew I couldn't do it all night long because I had to run the club. But people would, because Lonzo was there. That was my following from Alpine Village. And it was my deal. But again, instead of me playing, just being a nightclub owner or the DJ, I'm the actual owner of the club. I'm paying the rent, light bill, the cashier, security guards. I'm hiring, firing cats. This is my establishment. I'm not just a resident. I don't have just a residency here. I own the business. Okay. No, I don't own Eve After Dark, the building. And people say, "Oh man, you don't own Eve After Dark." Jeffy owned it. Yes, he did, but I paid Jeffy rent. Okay, that makes me a business owner. Just because I'm not the landlord. Most business owners don't own the property. A lot of people rent the property. Some people own it, but everybody don't own the property. That's trying to explain something to a knucklehead who think they know somebody. I had somebody tell me, "You didn't own Eve After Dark." Mr. Jeffy did. Yes, he did. I paid him rent. He was my landlord. I was responsible for the maintenance on the building. I was responsible for insurance on the property. I hired and fired all the employees. He didn't give a damn about that. All he cared about was getting his rent money, which made him a landlord, which made me the proprietor. Ta-da! If he was getting the profits, he would be the proprietor. Okay? So that's the difference in Lonzo. Plus, Lonzo ran his own clubs on the east side. I did everything on this side of Crenshaw for years. I didn't cross Crenshaw till 90, 97, 98. Everything I did was on the east side of Crenshaw. Eve After Dark, Dudos, Skateland, Alpine Village, all on this side on the east side of Crenshaw. And like I told him, I said, I didn't have time to go watch nobody else DJ. I'm DJing myself. If they was working and I was working, how are we going to come to each other's shows? But back in the day, because there was, they had a lot of stuff going on during the week. I got to know people because I'd go to other people's clubs during the week. Me and Sidney Thompson go back forever. Me and DJ Red, one of my best friends, Edwin. I met him in the late '80s, but I never rented his equipment till I didn't meet him till I rented his equipment because I had my own equipment. So it was a lot of independent. I didn't need to rent anything, but I didn't have the interaction with these cats. So a lot of these guys don't know me as a DJ. And it all depends on how you know me, where you know me from. Mm-hmm. It will determine what you think I am.
Yeah. Yep.
Me as a club owner.
Uh-huh.
If you hired me as a DJ, you know me as a DJ. If you bought my records, you know me as a
Grandmaster.
You saw me in concert, I'm Wrecking Crew. You read the articles, I'm the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. But
that's that Gemini shit. That's that Gemini shit, man.
And here's the crazy part. Some people have never put it all together yet.
There it is, right? You're like, oh, that's you? No, wait. Oh shit. Yeah. Man, you're a puzzle, homie. You're a puzzle. You got to put all the pieces together.
I got friends I've known forever didn't realize the Straight Outta Compton. After Straight Outta Compton, they were talking about you. Yeah, because there's enough. From elementary to junior high to about the 9th grade, I went by my middle name, which was Eric.
Okay.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, my middle name is Eric. Okay. So people call me Eric. So if you was in my neighborhood, you call me Eric. Okay. If we went to elementary school or whatever the case may be, up until I got to I think I went to start changing. I changed my name around. Start going by my first name when I got to 8th grade in Vanguard. And when I left St. Albert's and went to Vanguard, I think in the 8th grade is when I started going by Lonzo. Okay, or Alonzo, either one of them. And so if people say, you know Lonzo, nah, you know Lonzo, man, you know, oh Eric, bam, my family, still call me Eric to this day. My cousin don't know nothing but Eric. Okay, and I still answer to them. Anybody else, I'll correct. But again,
it's Lonzo.
Yeah, because I've had different. It's never been cohesive like that. Okay, and I was just me and my boy was talking about the other day. I said, you know, it's amazing how many people think they know my contribution to West Coast hip hop. They don't know the backstory to West Coast. The backstory what led me here, and that's the part I think is I want to focus on with him.
When we're gonna first of all be discussing Straight Outta Compton, the movie tonight, and when you told me that we would be talking about this, I decided to watch the film again, you know, just to refresh my memory, even though I've seen it, you know, 2 or 3 times all the way through. But yeah, let's get it going, man. I have a few questions, and hopefully everybody else in the comments have some questions as well. But first question for you, Lance. A lot of movies are, you know, put into development purgatory for years. You know, when was the first time you heard any rumblings about an N.W.A. movie?
Man, I've been hearing about it for a while. There were another dude. He had consulted with Jerry and even myself for a minute about the project. He was actually a writer on the actual movie itself. Can't think of his name right now. Damn it, his name slips my mind for the time being. But there were some issues with the music, and that's what slowed everything down. Tamika wasn't budging on what she was dealing with, and till they got her approval, it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, explain that to everybody, how you have to get approval from whoever owns the music. And Tamika Wright obviously owns Ruthless Records, so any music that goes in the movie, she would have to approve of, right?
When when somebody owns the music and you want to do a biopic like that, the original masters are very important. I mean, you got to have the actual song. You just can't have somebody else doing Eazy-E, doing N.W.A. stuff. You know, you got to have the people that was actually doing it. And those masters were controlled by Tamika. And at the time, for whatever reason, maybe the money wasn't right, I'm not sure, but she wasn't cooperating, to my knowledge. Allegedly, she wasn't cooperating, and that slowed the process down tremendously. And there was even, I think there was even an issue about Jerry's involvement. You know, so it was just a lot of problems. This guy's name comes. I see his face.
Is it Bill something? No.
Nah.
It was the original guy who wanted to write the movie and get it going, but then Tamika. Okay, I'll look it up while we're talking. I'll look it up.
I do that
because I've heard that story myself. But yeah, speaking of Tamika Wright, did you? We obviously know what we hear about her, but did you ever meet her? Did you have a relationship with her?
I met her a couple of times in passing, man. You know, we didn't really have a relationship. I just met her in passing. How you doing? It's Easy's wife. How you doing? Blah blah blah. And we had, I think, me and my partners had a meeting with her about some distribution we were trying to do with our company, West Coast Record Distributors, and it didn't pan out. So that was pretty much it. I saw her at the movie set. She knows who I am. I know who she is, but we don't really talk.
Okay. Well, before his death, you mentioned Jerry Heller earlier. Before his death, he went on record saying that he was inaccurately portrayed in the movie, and he even went as far as to sue. I don't know where they are to this day, but as someone who knew Jerry Heller very well, did they accurately portray Jerry Heller correctly in Straight Outta Compton?
You know, to a certain degree, I got to say about 80% was Jerry Heller. Okay, about 80%. He was an over-the-top kind of guy. You ever see 48 Hours?
I love that with Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy and
movie.
And the folks.
One of my favorites.
Jerry would remind me of both the Danny Aiello's character, the cop, and also the mob boss. He would remind me of both of them. Okay, because sometimes he would be super cool. You know, he'd want to talk, joke around. And all of a sudden, he'd get real serious and he, start hollering and screaming and shit. And like, dude, I'm not the one for that. So, he was known for that kind of shit. And then he come down and apologize, or but he was, he reminded me of those two characters combined.
Yeah, Homeboy did I think he did a really good job. I mean, I don't know Jerry personally, but I like the actor who portrayed him, and he kept me entertained is all I'll say. I don't know if that's exactly, like I said, what Jerry was like, but he definitely kept me entertained.
I think he did a good job of portraying him also. I think sometimes some of the things that might have been a little bit over the top, and some things I think was accurate. As far as Jerry always having a cooler head when he came down and doing street shit, he was definitely that dude. Street shit was always in a possibility, and he came from an era where street shit was very common practice. He came from a whole nother era of real serious gangsters.
What do you know about that? What do you know about that? What do you know about Jerry's background?
Well, he used to invite me over, tell me gangster stories sometimes, man.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he always tell me about these guys in New York, these different guys he worked with, and how this guy did this, and how that guy did that, and guys that I knew that I'd come in contact with. Don't ride in the car with this dude. This last guy had his job, was found in various pieces around New Jersey, shit like that, man. I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you for the info, and when you are from the hood and you used to certain type of gangster shit, when somebody tells you about cars blowing up and shit like that, you kind of take that shit, for real. And I just chose not to, be a part of that shit. That's all, man. It's just one of them, when people tell you certain things that come from certain people's mouth, you got to take it for what it is, and either make a choice, either hang out or keep pushing. And I kept pushing.
Before we jump back into the movie, when was the last time you actually saw and talked to Jerry Heller?
Man, maybe about a year before he died.
Okay.
He talked to me about the lawsuit. He wasn't happy with it, and some other stuff. And I explained to him, I said, man, it's a movie. Well, I like the way he did me, and that's something that I noticed. He was very protective of his image. Okay. And he always said he never got sued. I've never been sued. And many people I've been accused of screwing. I never got sued. Well, you can't get sued if you sign the contract. Okay. Yeah. If you agree to this on the contract and realize later on this was a bad deal, so be it. Okay. What nobody gives a damn. Okay. And that's pretty much the scenario. Somebody gives you a contract. One of the biggest fuck you contracts in the world is a credit card contract. Okay.
Yeah.
If you got a credit card, they have the right to fuck you everywhere but Tuesday, every day of the week. Okay. But they can raise your interest rates. They can charge you an exorbitant amount of money for late fees. But nobody reads all that shit. All you see is that $5,000, $3,000 limit, and you're thinking about going shopping. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You get a credit card, you get a high balance credit card, and you think about the possible freedom, not the possible debts you're going to be in. So it's the same thing with a contract. You see that big number, forget the other words. What's the number say? Okay. And people will sign their lives away for that first page. Meanwhile, the other 39 pages is putting something on your ass your kids will never get out of. And that's always been the issue. And me and one of my buddies, good buddy of mine, had a debate, an argument. He should have told them kids. No, they were not kids. They were 18. They were 18, okay? They were over 18. So if you over 18 years old and don't take the time to read a contract or have somebody read it that knows what they're doing, then that's on you. You signed it blindly, that's on you. Excuse me. And I've been in that situation several times. Man, I give you all my publishing. No. See, difference with Lonzo. Lonzo still lives in the same house. Mm-hmm. Jerry lived in the gated community. You had guards and shit. You had guards on one side and mountains on the other. Okay, you were not getting in there. You weren't getting in there. Okay, unless you had a helicopter. Okay, or somebody knew the passcode. And so I work out of my house. I've always worked out of my house. My studio's here. So I have to maintain a certain decor, certain attitude, because this is where I live at. And there's certain things I'm not going to do because I work out of my house. And, when you have an office and nobody knows where you live at, you can pretty much do what you want to. They're going to see you on your business hours from 9 to 5, just like Big Red. They're only going to see you on your business hours, okay? Mm-hmm. So that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
What up, folks? We got some folks in the chat room I'm going to shout out to right quick. What's up, Derek Mallory, Agent Black, Gary on Bush watching the Mob Hit documentary today. Damn sure was blowing up car. That's right, dude. So when people start telling you about certain things, man, what's up, Juanita? You got to take that shit for real, okay? I ask people all the time. I bought Dre his first car. I bought Dre the drum machine he used. I put him in the studio for endless amount of hours. I built the studio and gave him a key to it that he was able to perfect his sound. And I also got him out of jail twice, but I didn't get him out the third time. What do you think changed his life the most?
The person who helped him that one time?
No. Me not getting him out of jail the third time.
That's what I meant. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I was looking at the positive. Yeah.
For the third time changed his life for the most because he got mad at me.
Ooh, you flip. See, I like how you flip shit, Lonzo.
He got mad at me and wanted to go to Rufus. Okay. It wasn't.
So if you would have got him out, he would have probably kept relying on you, and he would never be the billionaire. Damn.
Right. Okay. Easy was around, but I was the man. Easy was around, but I was the man. Easy was talking about doing some stuff and HBO and Rendezvous. It was never supposed to be easy rapping. It was still Eric. He didn't become Easy until after he recorded. He was trying to come up with a name. He was going to be Ewok, E-Dub, or whatever the case may be. He had all kind of names that he was thinking about, okay? And they came up with Easy finally. So when I tell people sometimes, man, it don't take but one thing to change the course of history. And me not getting Dre out of jail changed the course of history.
Damn, dog. Love, you know what? You always push it into perspective like that. I love that. Yeah, at the beginning of the movie, I think that one of the opening scenes is Dre laying like next to or on a beat machine.
Right.
That would be the beat machine that you
probably... Wait. That was the first piece of shit I saw in the movie.
Oh, okay. Break it down.
He laying next to a 1200. He didn't have a 1200.
See, only a producer would know some shit like that.
I knew I'm like, we didn't get a 1200 till after we didn't get 1200 till after Curtis Blow left. We didn't get 1200s till after Curtis Blow taught us how to scratch.
What do you mean?
I never look. 1200s came out in, I think, 81. No, maybe 79, something like that.
Okay. This is SP 1200, right?
We didn't need SP 1200s to turntables. There was no scratching. We were only blending. We had Technique turntables, but we didn't have 1200s. I heard about 1200s, I'm sorry, in 77. Guys out of New York talked about it, okay? And the thought of a turntable costing $350 had blown my mind. Oh my God, $350, my God, might have been $3,000, okay? So it wasn't until David DMX actually brought his turntables to California to do a show with Curtis Blow that we actually saw what 1200s actually did.
Wow. So
to see him with a 1200, a $350 turntable in the beginning of the movie when he's still working for me getting $50 a night, okay? How the fuck is this supposed to happen? Okay? You know, it don't happen. So, I mean, you know, again, if you know the story, you can challenge the story. And that's the difference. When guys like me start talking about certain shit, I shut shit down because I know the fucking truth. I can shut shit down. People, there's a lot of people that tend to want to fabricate even their history and what they did in West Coast hip hop. Okay, there's a lot of fact. Oh man, I was super nigga in 1994, 84. I was super nigga in 84, and I was kicking ass, and I was mixing, and I had this money. No, you didn't. Okay, wasn't but a handful of cats doing it like that. Okay, but because you're talking to people who are young and don't know, no shit. You can fly? Yeah, I can fly. I was flying in 84, but wings got fell off right now. But back in 84, I can fly. And no shit. And I'm like, when I walk into the room and start looking around now, man, come Lonzo. Lonzo know I'm lying, okay?
Oh no, yep.
You know, my what they say, my spirit can make your devil uncomfortable, okay?
Mm.
A man's good spirit can make the devil in you uncomfortable. So I can make guys uncomfortable because sometimes they'll try to incorporate me in their shit. I don't remember that. I'm not going to jeopardize my credibility to support your bullshit. Okay? There's a few people I know that do that. Okay? I've been on panels with them, and when I start talking, I'm like, all right, Lonzo? I'm not co-signing that, man.
Nope.
Okay?
Damn.
You remember? No, I don't remember that. Okay? And that's kind of shit that, you know, sometimes, like I said, sometimes one man's spirit can make the devil of somebody else, you know, kind of very uncomfortable.
Yep. Yeah, and Daniel says Alonzo never gets the respect that he deserves, West Coast legend. That's why we're here. We're here to change that. And speaking of that real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Alonzo and this channel, and especially you guys out there before we go on, because you guys are the reason that this channel just this week reached 10,000 subscribers.
Much love, folks.
Man, that was a milestone that we've been waiting to hit. And I promised when we hit 10,000, I think about a year ago, I promised that I would jump on the table and do a little dance, but I can't do that in my studio. But I owe you guys a dance out there for helping us get to 10,000.
10,000, Doc. 10,000. Mm-hmm. And I thought we'd make it last year for a while, man. We was on a hell of a roll, dude.
Yeah.
On a hell of a roll. And Corona hitting us, breaks on everything.
Yeah.
So
we had we had almost 800 people join the channel just in the past 30 days. So if we keep at that rate, we'll be at 20,000, 25, 30, and 100,000 before we know it. And Alonzo will get the respect that he is due, because you are correct. Whoever said that in chat, that he definitely deserves that respect.
You know what? Let me correct that. I've never been disrespected. I just don't get the recognition.
That's exactly the word we're looking for.
I've never been. Yeah. I get respect anywhere I go. Okay, I've always been respected. I mean, you know, Q, my name falls out this mouth on a regular basis. Even cats who I don't really know, like Wren, Nothing But Love. I mean, I walked up to LL Cool J, somebody I met years ago, and hey, Lonzo, he ran down my doggone my resume. So my name rings bells. It's just I think one, I'm not Hollywood, okay?
Right.
I'm not Hollywood, okay? I'm still hood. I'm not Hollywood. I'm Hollywood, okay? I can do Hollywood, but Hollywood, it changes you, man. It's gonna change you, And I ain't opposed to change,
yeah.
but I just want to make sure when it changed, everything changed. My money, my address, everything got to change. It's hard to go Hollywood and come back to the hood, okay? No, it don't work like that, okay?
Yeah, man. Well, shout out to you. Let's keep it going. We have a lot of stuff in the chat, but I want to get to these couple quick questions that I have, and then we'll jump into everybody's questions in the chat. So just hang on. But one thing I noticed, and a lot of people noticed, is that Wren wasn't really in the movie, too much. He wasn't portrayed in the movie too much, even though he was a very big part of N.W.A. This is kind of a two-part question, but when did you first meet MC Wren, and why do you think he didn't, get a bigger part in the movie?
Man, you know what? Really, I can't recall really meeting Wren until last 5 years. I can't recall Wren. He probably, I'm quite sure he came through the house, but you got to understand, most of the guys from N.W.A, except for Q, they were introverts, man. They're introverts. They're not outgoing personalities, okay? They're real quiet, real laid back. Even Easy was a real laid back dude, man. I mean, he would be in the house and you never know he was there until somebody said something to him. And if Wren showed up, he was just a laid back dude, very quiet. And like I said, I can't recall that there was never an incident that made me go, "Oh, Wren, he's a trip." I don't have a story about Wren. Mm-hmm. I have no stories about Wren. In my book, it's the shortest chapter in the entire book, maybe a page and a half. I cannot sit here and tell you, "Oh yeah, we did this." No, I didn't. The brother, I know one thing I do know. We got the same birthday. Okay. Me and Tupac, all June 16th. Okay. Mm-hmm. I met him with Cube them a few years back on that N.W.A. and the Posse album, and to give it more music.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know that story? Because hold on, because that's probably my favorite album of all time, and it's what got me to love hip hop. Was that N.W.A. album. I remember like it was yesterday. And there were two versions. My friend had a version where there was maybe like 7 songs, and even Boys in the Hood sounded different. It sounded a little more raw, and then it sounded more polished in the second album. So is that what they were doing? Michel'le was explain that whole thing.
Michel'le was he was notorious for making shit up. And I know my boy Dr. Rock. Dr. Rock was an OG member of the Eve After Dark record crew. Moved to Texas, met DOC, and started a group called the Feel the Fresh Crew. Okay, somehow or another, I think he did a publishing deal with one of the guys at Michel'le, or he maybe did a master purchase deal with one of the guys from Michel'le. Somehow or another, when they decided to do the N.W.A. and the Posse, they would short some songs. So they just threw on the Feel the Fresh Crew and a couple other songs they had in there. Michel'le was notorious for trying to find, because the album back then made you more money than an EP. Okay. And I believe, if I'm mistaken, N.W.A. and the Posse was originally an EP. Okay.
That's the one that, like 7 songs, 6 songs, 7 songs, something like that.
Right. So they threw on the Feel the Fresh Crew, give us some more look. Same album cover. Okay.
Yeah.
Same album cover. So you had Jinx. You had Crazy D. You had
see Chip. Chip was there, I believe.
Yeah, Chip. Only person wasn't there was Wren the N.W.A. Wren the Yellow. Wren the Yellow wasn't in that on that album cover. Easy was there. Candyman was there. Jinx was there. Candyman's in Arizona. Jinx is in LA doing whatever he does. Crazy D, I talked to him. I got to call him back. He was dealing with some health issues, and the other guys I haven't seen since that album cover. To tell you the truth.
Let's see, Rendezvous.
Rendezvous, right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at I just pulled up the album right now. I'm trying to picture everybody.
My
What a
nigga,
classic album this was.
He's supposed to be on my show sometime soon. We was missing each other during the COVID, but I ran across him finally after all this time because he was the original artist for Ruthless Records. Very talented brother, but him and Easy fell out behind some money or something, or contracts or whatever the case may be, and that was it for that. But I'm gonna reach out for him. I got his number. I'm gonna reach out for him and get him on the show.
Damn, I bet he has some good stories, man. That's
dope. Yeah.
When the movie actually came out, the first time you watched it, were you able to actually enjoy it, or were you looking at it in a different lens because you were there at that time?
Man, I was so excited. I was happy to get through the security, first of all. The security for the movie, I thought I was going to see Obama or some shit, man.
Damn, like that, huh?
Security for Straight Outta Compton was some of the tightest shit I've ever seen in my life. Okay? I mean, people was line up over here, come to this point, checkpoint. You got a ticket? Okay, stand over here. Come over, we got to search you. Gotta come over here. And it was like, no, they had like 3 or 4 different checkpoints. Okay? And then my partner who I roll with, he always specializes in playing past security. This is Lonzo Williams. He's in the movie. So next thing I know,
nice. Because you're not gonna do that. I don't see you doing that.
I'm Lonzo Williams. Okay, now somebody else can do it. I'll roll with you.
Yeah.
But that's not.
I'll do that shit for you. I don't see you doing that.
We did the same thing when Ice Cube got his Walk of Fame. This is Lonzo Williams. He discovered Ice Cube. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. And okay, threatened you might lose your job by letting him in here. But I can't hear Lonzo Williams. No, that don't even feel right. But anyway, man, when I saw the movie, man, and I saw my character, I remember the scenes that I was there to be a part of. And it was cool. It was cool. And it's like, it reminded, and I think about this now. I think about, like I said before, about record contracts. Somebody give you a record contract, the first few months, you on cloud 9, you're all happy. But then I see how people interpret the movie, people who don't know interpret the movie. And then you realize not really the damage. It wasn't damaging, but it just was. If I wasn't around to tell the truth, it would be a lot worse for me. Okay. If I wasn't blessed to be able to sit here 6 years later and talk about the movie, people would have had that was Lonzo's Get Out. I've had arguments with the cats about, man, how you gonna hate on hip hop? Okay, let's do some math for a minute. Wasn't a whole lot of hip hop, first of all, in 1984. Wasn't that much hip hop. Okay, There was some, and it damn sure wasn't no gangster hip hop. I think the best we might have had at that time, I had to ask Unknown, we might have had 6 in the morning.
Okay, yeah, I think that was 84, 83-ish, 84.
We might have had Ice-T 6 in the morning.
Yeah, maybe Spoonie G, I think, from Philadelphia.
Okay, we might have had Spoonie G, which Ice-T lifted the whole thing from that right there. You got to hear it to check it out. And we might have had, I don't know when we had Battle Ram. Mixed Master Spade was doing.
I think that was 85.
Huh?
That was 85, I believe.
Okay. So Doodles was cracking in 85, 86.
Just looking it up.
Doodles was cracking in 85, 86. I was 27 years old and I was doing Doodles. Yes, I still lived in my old house on Carlton. Let's do the math for a second.
Okay.
I'm doing Doodles. I'm 26, 27, right? I'm 12 years older than Ice Cube is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I'm 27. How old is Ice Cube? Or take away 12. How old is Ice Cube?
15.
He wasn't to do those.
There it is.
He wasn't to do those.
Damn. And to a person like me, wouldn't even catch that. But see, you're watching this movie in a different lens.
I watched it through a whole different lens. He wasn't to do those.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Jinx may have been there because Dre was there.
Okay.
Ice Cube, I don't remember him being to do those.
That's funny.
And I tell you what, he damn sure did not do a gangster rap at Dudos.
That would not have cracked.
Understand this. We had not gotten our major deal yet, right?
Okay.
We got our major record deal in 86. They were still doing She's a Skag. They hadn't done She's a Skag yet. They were still doing the first they did She's a Skag on the CBS album for the CBS project, and then they came back to we got dropped from CBS. They came back with the CIA EP. That was way after Dudos. Why wasn't no gangster rap on that shit? They would sound like the Beastie Boys. Okay, people, you got to take a listen at the timeline. Look, when he came out. First of all, it was She's a Skag. That was the first record he ever made. Then they came out with the EP on Crew Cut Records, the CIA Crew in Action. Okay, and that was a straight Beastie Boys knockoff.
Yep.
Okay, straight Beastie Boys knockoff. It wasn't until a year, maybe two later, they came out with they decided to go to the N.W.A. route.
Yeah.
Do the numbers. The numbers ain't gonna lie. Okay, that's the beauty of being here and able to retroactively, what they call that, retro engineer the history.
The history of time, yeah.
The timeline. Understand the timeline. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I know his mama. He was not doing gangster rap at 50. He was not cussing at 15 years old. It ain't gonna happen. Cube, no, ain't gonna happen. Mm-hmm. Now, what did happen, and I saw the records in my studio in my garage. I'm gonna look it up. Jinx had made a song called "Fuck All Them Hoes."
Okay.
And it was Jinx, strictly Jinx, "Fuck All Them Hoes," and it was on one of my subsidiary labels I put out. And when I played that record, Dre played that record at Dudos. I got jammed up by my security team. Okay, and all my security at Dudos was off-duty cops, and one of them was super cool, but he also said, "Lonzo, don't make me do my job." What are you talking about? That song you guys just played, "Fuck All Them Hoes," for all these kids, I could arrest you right now for contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Mm-hmm. Shit was serious. Keep in mind, kids, this is the 80s. This was serious. 2 Live Crew damn near went to jail for releasing some shit in 1992. So this is probably 5, 7, 8 years prior.
Right. So you talking about Dudos. See, Eve After Dark and Dudos two different venues. Mm-hmm. Eve After Dark was 18 and up. Mm-hmm. Okay, for the most part. I could let you in at 17 if I want to, but I wanted more of a Soul Train vibe. I didn't want the Rumper Room. Okay, mm-hmm. I wanted more Soul Train and no Rumper Room. Okay, when I got to Dudos held 2,000 people. So and according to my permit, I could let them in at 14. Okay, and as coming from Compton and being a recipient of all the team dances that happened at Campanella Park, Gonzalez Park, and all the stuff was going on in St. Albert's and Regina Cheli, 14 years old, I know they can do it, but that was Compton. So to keep kids safe, I had police there, and again, police took that shit very serious. And to play an X-rated song in front of them kids was a major no-no. Okay? My guards and I'm paying, talking about taking me to jail for playing an X-rated song in front of some kids. And that's what I got on Dre's ass about. It wasn't about no gangster rap, but about that fuck all them hoes that got me jammed about some bitch I'm paying.
Damn. And I know in 2021, every third song is called "Fuck All Them Hoes," but this is a different time, guys. This is a different time. I know we're kind of gonna wrap it up, but I have to hear this story. Speaking of explicit songs, I don't even know if it's explicit or if you guys were doing some tongue-in-cheek type of stuff. But if you can finish answer this question, then we'll finish off. Anthony Holmes says, Lonzo, you put out a record called "Gang Bang" with the Wrecking Crew in '85.
I did.
Called Gang Bang? Okay. Well, was that like a tongue-in-cheek type thing, or talk to me about that?
It was gang bang, you're dead, you're lying in the streets, gang bang, 15 years old, you're a cold piece of meat, gang bang.
So some real shit. You were talking some real shit.
Tell me, fellas, what you gonna do, gang bang, when the corner puts the bag on you. We was anti-gang bang.
Okay.
We was anti-gang bang. We patterned the song after what people did for money, okay?
Okay.
Gang bang, gang bang, you're dead, you're lying in the street. Gang bang, 15 years old and just a cold piece of meat. Gang bang, tell me, fellas, what you gonna do? Gang bang, when the corner puts the tag on you. That was the boy.
There it is. Oh, a little fast joint too, huh?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get it. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out after the show. Yeah.
That was our first album. Yeah.
Kicking some real shit. Okay.
Album. It was anti-gang. I've always been anti-gang bang. I ain't changed.
Mm-hmm.
Money don't change me like that. What can I tell you? I'm stupid. I'm stuck on stupid. I could have sold that a long time ago, but I'm gonna hold out.
You know what? You're gonna enjoy the last, 30 years of your life. Reaping the benefits of what you're doing now. Trust me, man. You're gonna get your props due, and everybody's gonna know Lonzo how they should.
Yanking. And what's a 6'4"?
Yeah, it's a car, a 6'4" Impala. Yanking is when you jack somebody, man. It's not a big deal to sound better.
Yo, man, it's too much cursing for radio play. I mean, besides, who gives a about Compton anyway, right? Hey, hold the up. Hey, hold up, man.
Hey, y'all got something to say about Compton? Because we might have a problem up in this.
D Blue says, Alonzo, did you ever meet the group HBO who's supposed to rap Boys in the Hood and Whatever Happened to Them?
Yeah, they was here. They was in the studio.
Explain that part in the movie for everybody. That was the East Coast crew who were supposed to do Boys in the Hood, but it just wasn't matching.
Drake was doing beats for these guys in the studio, and they were from New York. And Drake introduced the Easy to try and put him on this record. Because Easy was not supposed to be an artist. He was never going to be an artist. He was going to be the money man, Barry Gordy, blah, blah, blah. And when they came over here, and I was in the studio, and they couldn't get with the lyrics that Cuban wrote for Boys in the Hood. And, for them, fuck this in Compton, bullshit, okay? They didn't, all that, what you say about, man, what you say about Compton? No.
Hollywood.
That Hollywood, okay? They had to sensationalize it. And next thing you know, they was gone. But y'all know, man. Man, fuck that. We can't do that shit. Whatever happened to them, I have no idea. I was on the couple times they came through here, and they didn't have my studio. That's the last time I heard of them. Homeboys.
How history may have changed if they would have actually recorded that song. Eazy-E would have never recorded. Like, history would have. It's like that butterfly effect. If one little thing didn't happen, would a lot of other things have happened?
Right. That's the part. A lot of cats don't get that, man. Sometimes one thing could change the course of everything.